Hey, what's up? Hello, and welcome back to this week's episode of Pancake to Beefcake. We are officially on the 7th episode. If you've watched all 6 episodes up until now, thank you very much. If you haven't and you're just tuning in for the first time, well, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you do enjoy it by the end, feel free to leave a like, comment, or even subscribe down at the bottom. I'd love to hear what card's been your favorite so far, or even a little tip on how to get some cleaner cuts on these. But anyways, here we go. Let's see what we get. We've got Antique Root Fossil. We got Froakie. We got Meditate. We got Meltan. We got Veluza. We got Tornadus. We got Crispin. We got Fidu. We got Duraludon in the reverse. Oh. We got Melmetal EX. Look at that guy. I think that's another duplicate for me, but then the energy we're making today is dark. We've already done the dark. All right. So we are going to go like this. No. Ha 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 ha. So these past couple cards I've actually been trying to add a little bit more of the beefiness to it. So I've been adding layers to the cards. The last cards I did 2 layers of everything, plus some extra little bumpers underneath the energy and the eyes to make them pop out a little bit more. But this week I decided to go even further. I decided I would go 3 layers and see how it turns out. You'll have to let me know. I think it turns out pretty good. So this week I decided to switch it up a little bit. I felt like the last couple I showed quite a bit of the cutting side of things and all the templates, and then I figure you can kind of see it in the bottom corner there, but we'll go ahead and skip past that here today and show you a little bit more of the gluing and the resin and the assembly of the card. I've also been starting to do things in a slightly different order, so this time I actually glued all the layers together, being as I said, I tripled the thickness. So I glued all the layers together before I decided to paint all the small edges of the card and all the parts that I thought needed to be black or should be black to add a little bit of depth to the card. So now you're just seeing me glue the layers together and put them into my little yoke here that I designed and 3D printed prior to painting all their edges, and which, I'll be honest, I kind of forgot to record most of the painting. I didn't record any of the painting, actually. I haven't really found a good way to record the painting. For whatever reason, every camera that I've used, it's not wanting to pick up on the small, tiny little flat edge of the card. Even my phone, I think I haven't really gotten the proper angle at it. I have gotten myself a new little stand here, so maybe I'll work on it this week and try and get that into the next video a little bit better. Bear with me, things are getting better as we go here. At least I'd like to think so. I will say, however, that gluing these cards together first made the painting process a lot easier. The thickness of one card is 0.2 millimeters, so obviously triple that to 0.6. It makes it a lot easier to get that edge done. And as you can see here, we do also try and get a bit of the yellow border kind of blacked out so that we don't see it on the following card. I did a lot better with this card when it comes to that than it did the last cards that we did. I did have a little yellow peeking out from behind on that psychic card that we did last week. So here we go, just gluing the final painted layers all back together before we go into getting all these teeny tiny little pieces done up with resin and glued onto the card. So here's a little bit of movie magic here for you as we go. So we're gonna throw this one on here real quick. We're gonna throw this one on top of here. And then last but not least, we're gonna throw this border on top. And let's get these small pieces done. I don't know if any of you have actually had a chance to work with UV resin, but I highly recommend it. It's very, very satisfying. I do obviously recommend wearing the proper PPE. You want to wear a mask while you're using it, but yes, it is very satisfying to use, and it looks great on these cards. I love mixing different colors in, different glow-in-the-dark dusts. I've got multiple different types of dyes for all the resin that I do, because I also do make some of my own dice sets. I have 5 sets of custom dice that I've created, so it's fun to make those for my D&D characters that we play. But anyways, back to the card. This one I went with some obviously glow-in-the-dark green, but I also did something a little bit different with the main energy orb. I've wanted to kind of do this look from the beginning, is make it actually look like an orb. So here you can see I added all the glow-in-the-dark stuff to the black part of this energy orb, and then I obviously added a lot more clear resin on top of the orb to make it look as if it is actually an orb, and we do kind of get that look out of it at the final stage once it's all assembled. And speaking of assembled, here we go with the assembly of the card. Just throwing in the final touches here, making sure everything is all lined up and isn't gonna move anywhere on me. And once we get these little leaves all put back in here, or put on here, this is it. That's the final card. And here we go. This is what it looks like in the dark. You can see the amount of clear resin that I put on top of the leaf in the middle has kind of affected the glow. It's not as bright as what the plants I've planted down at the bottom are, but I think it still works great. It looks wonderful. I got the orb look that I wanted out of the center energy. Here's the final comparison between the new grass type and the psychic type that we did last week. As you can see, it is probably about 30% thicker, and the orb in the middle is actually a lot more orb-like. So tell me what you think. If you liked it, leave a like. If you didn't like it, let me know. And if you want to catch the next one, well, subscribe down there, down at the bottom, just to the left. Thanks, guys. If you made it this far, have a great day. But yeah, go do something productive with your day. All right, take care.